Kuda.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a rather different type of video today. Whilst we mainly cover the Jurassic franchise here on the channel, we're going to be dipping our toes into the Meg universe created by Warner Bros. Pictures, and taking a look at some comparisons between the second movie of the Meg franchise and the entirety of the Jurassic franchise. It's common to have references cross over from movies to movies, as it's a cool way to show off some storytelling and readapting something that was seen elsewhere. Sometimes in a better fashion, but sometimes in a worse fashion. For today, we're just merely going over all of them, bad or good, and explain why they're references. Some will be direct references, whereas others will be indirect references. So for now, as we get to move on with the video, make sure you have your snacks ready, as it's time to discuss all of the Jurassic Park references within the Meg 2, The Trench. The Meg 2 The Trench has just released on digital platforms available for rent and purchase, so understandably, I went ahead and bought the movie as I noticed many Jurassic Park related references within the movie when I first watched it in cinemas. Personally for me, I found this movie to be a fun and entertaining 2 hours. It may not have been the best movie ever made, but it certainly had its fun moments and enjoyment, that's for sure. Opening up in this movie, we're taken back to the Cretaceous period, where the Tyrannosaurus Rex is hunting other kinds of lizards on the beach. This opens 65 million years ago, which is identically similar to that of the timeline as to what we see in the short film Jurassic World: The Prologue, where it too opens up in the Cretaceous period 65 million years ago, involving a Tyrannosaurus Rex. This was also an addition to the start of Jurassic World Dominion's Extended Edition. More so, for our second Easter egg here, we pointed this out a few months ago, but the model and design they went for here wasn't really a paleontological choice, but instead inspired after Jurassic Park's iconic Rexy the Tyrannosaurus Rex model. Meaning that in this Meg universe, this is what Tyrannosaurus would have looked like during the Mesozoic era. Staying within the Cretaceous opening, our next reference comes directly to Jurassic World's final battle. I am sure that all of you remember what happened in this final battle, involving the Indominus Rex, Blue the Velociraptor, Rexy the Tyrannosaurus, and the Mosasaurus. It ended with the Mosasaurus jumping out of the lagoon and snatching up the Indominus Rex. Something extremely similar occurred here in the Meg 2, where the Megalodon jumps out of the water, albeit extremely shallow water, somehow, and snatched up the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Here's a direct comparison to compare them both. To me, they seem rather similar. The movie then starts to begin in the modern era, as we're introduced with some new information of the world that's changed slightly ever since the discovery of the Megalodon's existence back in 2018. Jonas and the other returning characters are at an event that showcases the largest Megalodon kept in captivity, Hai-Chi. Hai-Chi is swimming around in her lagoon and put on show, the same way that the Mosasaurus was, with a dedicated scene to it in 2015's Jurassic World. When Hai-Chi swims away from Zhu Ming, she then looks at the others that are safe in the facility, with Lance then saying that he thinks she's looking at them, in a very similar way to how we see the Indominus Rex look at Masrani and Claire, who are also behind reinforced glass and safety in the facility, back in Jurassic World. Jonas, being the main character of the movie, goes ahead and mentions something that distinctively reminds me of an iconic line from Jurassic Park that Alan Grant says. In the Meg 2, Jonas says, "Megs and humanity were never meant to mix," very similar to Dr. Grant's iconic line from Jurassic Park.
Dinosaurs and man, 2 species separated by 65 million years of evolution, have just been suddenly thrown back into the mix together. How can we possibly have the slightest idea of what to expect?
Humans and dinosaurs can't coexist.
After this, the movie moves on as the human characters make their way down for another dive into the trench for an exploration mission. What they don't realize is that back at the facility, Hai-Chi is breaking out of her containment and swimming into open waters. Whilst this is not a direct parallel to Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, it's very similar with its setting. In Fallen Kingdom, The Mosasaurus was let out to swim into open waters after being accidentally let out from her containment. So, in both movies, the big aquatic creature broke into open waters during the nighttime away from the resided containment area. A big plotline in Jurassic Park was Dennis Nedry. He practically caused the downfall of the park with help from the storm that approached the island. The whole reason he took that bribe from Lewis Dodson and Biosyn back in 1993 was simply because he was being underpaid by John Hammond and InGen, and he felt like he deserved more, ultimately sabotaging the park entirely. In The Meg 2, Jess follows a similar plotline here. She too is feeling like she was being neglected by the overall picture and took a bribe from elsewhere. In doing so, she sabotaged one of the vessels that were used in case of emergencies, causing the death of 3 characters whilst they were stuck down in the trench on foot as no one could go ahead and rescue them. Once again, another connection with 2 plotlines being similar here. They also both ended up being killed in their movies. As the movies go on, it's difficult to find many more references to the Jurassic franchise, so much so that this next one might be quite a reach. Whilst it may not be intentional, when the crew were attempting to escape the megalodons in a kayak boat, they move rather slowly to the point where they're almost still to try not to look like food. In Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous Season 1, when the campers accidentally make their way into the Mosasaurus lagoon, they do the exact same thing to try and not to get eaten by the Mosasaurus. Once we move further on with the movie, we approach Fun Island, which wasn't so fun for some military personnel. Within this scene, the military personnel were ambushed by those weird 4-legged creatures that I will admit I still don't know the name to. Yeah, I should probably find that out to create this video. Anyways, they were ambushed in a jungle looking area as a shootout begins and deaths occur. I don't know about you guys, but to me, this reminds me of the It Can Camouflage scene from Jurassic World, where the Indominus Rex ambushes the ACU team in the jungle, getting shot at and killing many of them in the process. Whilst the creatures may be different, the aspect of it all matches very well. Dinosaurs in the long grass. As seen in the Meg 2, these creatures attack and stalk in the long grass, something that I'm sure that all of us were taught not to go in ever since 1997's The Lost World Jurassic Park. Whilst this next one may not be a reference to a Jurassic World movie, it's a reference that involves another dinosaur comedy movie called Land of the Lost. And the reference used here was in regards to one of my favourite scenes from that movie. So, of course, I have to point it out. But, in this scene, when DJ and Regus were caught face to face with the terrestrial creatures, DJ is given her plan on what to do without him realising that she's already bolted and left the area. This reminds me so much of that scene in Land of the Lost when the characters have just managed to escape the clutches of the Tyrannosaurus and they fall into the pit of bones. Will Ferrell's character then goes ahead and says, "Chaka, your master commands you to," and we see that Chaka has already left the area and is miles away. Without a doubt, one of my favourite scenes ever.
Everybody move out! Chaka, your master commands you to... Bad Chaka! Your loyalty is now in question!
But finally, moving back onto a Jurassic World reference to end off this list here, we have a helicopter coming to the rescue above the water after they were called in by the heroes of the movie, only arriving just after the danger has stopped, something that reminisces of Jurassic Park and Jurassic Park 3's endings. So that makes up all of the Jurassic franchise's references that I spotted in the Meg 2, The Trench. Now, I might have missed another 1 or 2 Easter eggs and references here, but I really tried to make sure that each and every one that I did see were distinctive enough and weren't too generic. But if you feel as though I've missed any of them, then please feel free to go ahead and let me know in the comments. We managed to find references to all 6 Jurassic movies, as well as 1 short film and 1 series within the Meg 2. I'm also just trying out this video to see if there's much interest in Jurassic references across other movies, as it was really fun watching this movie and noticing all of these details. So why not let me know what you thought of this video by leaving a like and share it around with your friends. Feel free to subscribe to the channel too, as we aim for 200,000 subscribers very soon, but most importantly, make sure you're all staying safe out there, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye. Hello, hi, you, did you enjoy the video? Just a little reminder to press that like button and also subscribe. I just want to thank my Patreons for this month on screen right here, as giving me that little extra support really does go a long way. But anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day.